This is going to be the official captain's meeting for the Tennessee Hammer event that's hosted by Tennessee Valley Kayak Anglers of Chattanooga, Kayak Bass Fishing of Tennessee, Watts Bar Kayak Fishing, and North Alabama Kayak Anglers. We're running this event concurrently with the Hobie event, which is a 2-day event on Saturday. Couple differences with what we're doing is that we have a 3-fish limit instead of a 5-fish limit for the Hobie. It's going to be a $50 entry fee. $10 of that's actually going to go to Big Bass. It's going to be presented by the Dugout Bait and Tackle, Frontier Outdoors, Music City Outdoors. Hog Farmers actually got a Big Bass prize, and KBFTN sponsor Strike Kings actually putting in $100 for the Big Bass as far as a gift card goes. We're going to be awarding 3 spots to the Tennessee Bass Nation State Championship that's going to be held in August. If there's an angler that's already qualified, we're going to roll that down for you to be qualified for that event. So it's just another way to, get qualified along with the June 18th Lake Douglas event that we've got going on. The pre-fishing cutoff is actually going to be Friday at 4 p.m. You need to be off the water completely at the ramp, not scanning, no lines in or anything. So we're doing that the same as the Hobie's actually doing it. So if you're fishing the Hobie event, the identifier can be used. That's given to you by Hobie. Everybody gets a unique identifier in that. If you're not fishing the Hobie, use your unique identifier that Tourney X actually gives you for the tournament. So the boundaries are actually going to be from Watts Bar Dam all the way to the Chickamauga Dam. The Hiwassee River, you can go as far as the I-75 bridge launch. You can fish as far down into the Hiwassee as you can, but you must return to the I-75 takeout to be legal. So all times are Eastern. You can launch at 5:30 a.m. Registration deadline for this tournament is actually going to be 5:59 a.m. So if you're a little late signing up, you got a little bit of time there to get signed up for both. It's a good double dip opportunity. So the lines in is going to be 6 a.m. 2:30 p.m. is going to be lines out. 3:30 p.m. is going to be your last submission deadline. If you're having any issues uploading pictures at all, you must reach your respective tournament director to make arrangements. So typically we'll do contact your attorney director. Shane McIntyre is going to be for KBFTN, TVKA. You can reach out to me or Steve Owens. Michael Daughtry is going to be for the Watts Bar folks, and then Blake Robertson for the NAKA folks. So just keep that in mind if you have any problems. The cell signal on the lake's really good, so just make sure that you have the most up-to-date Tourney X app. Make sure that you're taking good pictures. A lot of these judges nowadays will send you a message or give you a call in some cases. KBFTN's actually setting up their judges for this event. And so, like I said, last submission deadline is 3:30 p.m. 4:30 is the check-in and the deadline for awards at Point Park in Dayton. So each club's going to be, awarding points to their respective members. So there will be a check-in sheet at check-in. So make sure that you put in, which club that you're affiliated with as far as which one you're trying to get points for. Point Park in Dayton is just down from the Jacob Myers restaurant. Great restaurant if you're up there, so I'd visit them while if you get a chance. Couple of rules to go over that are necessary. Your PFD must be worn at all times. Your identifier can be written on your hand. It can be written on your bunkboard, hog trough, attorney tag, however you want to display it. Just make sure that your pictures actually have that identifier. So again, we have a 3-fish limit. Your flag must be flown. A visibility flag must be flown at all times in cast rules. Hobie, that's where we differ. During safe flight, you must actually have a 360 visibility light, before safe flight. If you're launching after safe flight, you're fine to go ahead and launch. Make sure that if you are using a motor, you cannot use a motor in the Hobie event, but if you're fishing the cast event only, you can use a motor. So make sure that you're registered. You got your red and green lights and your 360 lights as far as that goes. Make sure all state and local laws need to be taken care of there. So on the cast side, all catch boards and hog troughs are approved, but in Hobie you must use a metal catch board. Any measuring board and cast must have a contrast or sticker applied to the bunk area where the lips are actually touching. Eyes must be not, you can't cover the eye of the fish. Your hand cannot be under the gill plate. Mouth must be closed. If it's a cracked mouth, it's a 1/4 inch deduction. If it's a no attempt, then it's a 1 inch deduction for no attempt. There's kind of on the Tourney X page that'll be adjusted, but cast rules are 1/4 inch and 1 inch as far as the deductions goes. If the fish eye is messed up, we've had a couple of these come up, just be prepared to provide a video of that fish coming off the board alive and swimming off. So take a picture of, video of it coming off the measuring board, showing where it laid, and show that fins were flapping, put it in the water, watch it swim off. The tourney director or whoever's judging fish should actually contact you to request that video if it's there. Just, it's your responsibility to make sure. But if it's actually got an eye that's clouded, dead, missing, or otherwise, and you do not have that video, that fish will be DQ'd. So again, if you're fishing the Hobie, it's human powered only. As far as measuring the fish on the board, the bass must be facing left with the dorsal fin facing up, its belly to yours belly. It's going to be measured from the tip of the lip all the way to the longest 1/4 inch mark where the tail touches. One thing that kind of happens in this, these hotter events is that make sure to wet your board. It's going to help the fish lay better, but you get a lot of fish that'll actually raise their tail. In our last event, we had a lot of anglers that had some questionable photos because the tail was sitting there flipping up because they don't want to be on a hot board. Take plenty of pictures. Make sure that your Tourney X app's up to date. So it's gonna be a really good event. We've got 69 anglers signed up so far. It's a great chance to double dip for a lot of people. There's no dues that are needed for this event. On the TVKA side, if you do pay dues, you're actually going to get a discount card and T-shirt and all that wonderful stuff. And I'm sure some of the other clubs are actually offering something like that. As far as launches, it has to be any public launch where anybody can launch. Harbor Lights is an off-limits marina. Most marinas, unless you can actually pay to launch there, are going to be off-limits. So if anybody can pay to launch there, that's what you do. But again, Harbor Lights is off-limits. You may talk to somebody there and they say, yeah, sure, why not? But not everybody actually gets that access when the next person comes on shift. So again, you must be present at check-in for awards, and in the TVKA club, you must be present to get points awarded to you other than a 50. Fish must be unharmed, just normal stuff as far as this goes. We're combining our prize pool for the raffle, so you've got multiple clubs that are actually contributing prizes towards it. So that's actually going to be pretty good. And I'm not mistaken, we've got a big hammer that's going to be given away to whoever's the baddest angler in Tennessee. So we're going to have fun with it, and be safe out there on the water. There's going to be a lot of boats that are out there. Pleasure craft are starting to come out. Just be safe. Make sure that you're visible. Make sure that you got that visibility flag flowing or flying there. So other than that, we appreciate y'all fishing these events.